You guys are standing up for me, right? I mean, that's a wild reception for someone who calls himself the Tick Guy.
I know it. You know, who can figure?
I want to back it up at the very beginning because I'm relatively new to ticks, and I am fascinated by them. I've been pushing to get you on this show for a very long time.
Wow.
Not enough people are having conversations about ticks. The little bit that I've learned has made me feel a little bit safer. So we have a lot of questions for you. But for a lot of the country, they may be asking, what is a tick?
Yeah.
What's a tick?
Well, it's a good question.
Oh, Jesus Christ. That's supposed to be an easy one. That should be an easy one.
You know, I could put my science hat on and tell you all the fancy things about it, but a tick is just a little creature. It has 8 legs, and it wants to suck your blood.
Yeah, well, why does it want to suck our blood?
Well, to grow. So it uses the blood.
Yeah.
In each of its life stages, a larvae, a nymph, and an adult, to either grow to the next stage, or when it gets to the adult stage, it takes that great big blood meal so it can lay thousands of eggs and start the whole thing over again.
Wait a second. The tick wants what we want. The tick wants to eat.
Exactly.
It wants to reproduce. So we're not that different.
No. Pretty similar, actually.
Pretty similar. Yeah. How did you get involved? How did this happen? How did the Tick Guy become you?
Yeah, well, that's another good question.
I have great questions.
Yeah.
And if you say it after each question, it's going to be a long interview because I've got so many good ones.
Got it. Years ago, there was a Visa commercial that had CEOs on it, and they would say, "You don't know me, but you know what I do."
Okay.
Right? So like the head of some company. And the truth is, I don't really need people to know me, Thomas Mather.
Yep.
What I want them to know is, oh, you're the Tick Guy, right?
Right.
Look, it got me on your show.
I know. So you. Why aren't we talking about this more? Why, when I bring up ticks in a social situation or here at the show, right? It's funny because no one else does it. Why aren't we having this discussion? What is it so viscerally about them that terrifies people?
People are really creeped out by ticks.
Yeah.
The thought that, as an example, to get on you, to steal your blood, it usually starts slow and crawls up across your body. If you find it up on your head, you just want to assume that it dropped out of a tree.
Right.
I don't know one tick biologist that thinks ticks drop out of their tree. Now, I said that in a social post not too long ago, and some troll came back and said, well, you must not know very many tick biologists, I guess. Right. Because they know people really, they think they know a lot about ticks.
Yeah.
And one time I was doing a television spot in Baltimore, and just before we went on, the guy said, well, what do you want to talk about? I said, whatever your producer put on the teleprompter is probably what we're going to talk about.
Right.
And he said, no, really. And I said, well, you tell me 2 things you know about ticks. And he said, they drop out of trees onto your head, and they die in the winter. And I said, and you'd be just wrong enough to still be at risk, because while you're looking up there for the ticks falling out of the trees, you're missing the ones crawling up your pant legs.
Wow.
And if they died in the winter, where would next year's ticks come from anyway?
Right.
And he went like this, big eyes, and he goes, we should talk about that. Now, we didn't talk about that. We talked about what the producer had put on the teleprompter.
I bet you crush at parties. So, if one finds a tick on their head, one should assume that it crawled from the feet all the way up.
Or at least sort of at the knee level or something.
And why don't we feel it crawling on us?
Well, so some people do.
Oh, interesting.
But ticks have figured out how to do that in a sneaky way as possible. Yeah. Because if they let you know that they're there, then you're going to brush them off, right? So they've figured this all out. Same thing with biting. Their saliva, the first thing that they do when they start to bite is they spit into you.
Yep.
And that spit deadens your pain reaction. It changes your immune reaction, because the last thing that tick wants is a barrier to that. It gets rid of the blood clotting with anticoagulants.
Damn.
Yeah, fascinating.
They're fascinating.
Yeah, they are fascinating.
And for whatever reason, learning about them is making me feel more comfortable, even though you're just telling me they're basically living vampires that steal our blood, numb us, and can make us very sick.
Exactly.
And this is going to be a very bad tick year, correct?
Well, so, tracking ticks, the Centers for Disease Control sort of keeps record of how many people go to emergency departments for tick removal, and their records are high. We have our own tracking where people can send us pictures of the ticks that they find called tick spotters, and our counts are over the moon, really, this year compared to other years so far.
Is that because the Earth is warming? I mean, I remember growing up in Michigan, ticks were not a thing. It was not, maybe that's my parents were very negligent also, but it feels like there's more ticks. Are there more ticks?
Well, there are more ticks, and they're moving. The tick picture has changed over the last 20 years, really, and you can blame really one thing, and that is tick reproduction.
Okay.
So I think that the reproductive hosts, most of the adult stage ticks that we worry about, the black-legged ticks, the Lone Star ticks, they take their blood meal, that last blood meal, so that they can lay all those eggs from white-tailed deer. And so there are so many more white-tailed deer now than there were 20 years ago, than 50 years ago. So this is made, and they're in places where they didn't used to be. They're not scared of people any longer.
I mean, we used to slow the car down when we would see a deer to look, and now we speed up. This isn't going to be all doom and gloom. We're going to get into, what one should do, because what I really want to achieve by talking to you is, I think in today's society and tech and political divisiveness, what we all need and what helps me is to engage with nature.
Yes.
And what I'm so frustrated by is everyone is so afraid of ticks so much that people are staying indoors. And so I want to make sure we understand what we can do to still enjoy the hike, still take all our kids out and playing in nature. So what's the first thing that we should do? We have to identify that if a tick is on us, right?
Well, everyone should do a tick check, but I'm just going to back up one more second there and say I think that the biggest issue is that people just need to know what a tick is and what it looks like.
Okay.
And one of the things that I have learned is that people don't know that ticks have two sides.
Yep.
The top side has all of the markings and the stuff that someone needs to recognize them. And the bottom side, they all kind of look the same.
All right, well, I have this, you sent this to us, and this may freak the audience out, but what are you looking at? This is the top side, and this is the bottom side. Now, these are not labeled, obviously you know these, but why? First of all, let me just say it actually is a beautiful creature.
It's fascinating.
The markings are beautiful. You know what? And you're beautiful too. And how do you not know that a tick isn't showing a picture of you going, whoa? So it's important that we know what kind of tick is on us.
Exactly, and the reason for that is that the different kinds of ticks transmit different germs. They don't all do the same thing. So, like if people say, oh, the ticks are going to be bad this year, I usually stop them and say, which tick are you talking about?
I like that. I'm going to use that. Well, Lyme disease is this complicated, elusive disease that nobody seems to really know about, and people are terrified of getting. If you get a tick bite, do you get Lyme disease? What are the odds
Only
here?
if it's a black-legged tick. So,
which one's a black-legged tick? They all look like black-legged ticks to me.
The black-legged ticks are these two, and this is the one that they worry about.
Okay, so if that has Lyme disease...
So 1 in 2 of those are carrying Lyme disease germ in the eastern United States, less so in the south and less so in the West Coast.
Okay.
But, around here, 50% of them...
Wow, that's high.
Yeah, it is high. So that's why you want to find the tick pretty quickly to remove it. But the other ticks are just as common, in fact, a little bit more common than the black-legged tick, and they don't carry the Lyme disease germ.
So if people are terrified of Lyme disease and they have this tick on their body,
no worries.
Have a martini and shut the up.
Exactly.
Right. Now, This is what I mean by learning. Learning makes you feel like you have a little bit more power over this. If 1 in 2 have Lyme disease,
Yeah.
and I'm bitten by this, and it's having a blood meal, as you so romantically say, what's the chance that I will get Lyme disease from that tick?
Well, so it depends on a few things. Your immunity, how long the tick was attached. And I know that's a controversial subject for some people, but in our lab, we and many other people have done this to show that they don't transmit an infectious dose right away. The bacteria has to move from its stomach up to its salivary glands and then get shuttled out that way. But so usually you have about a day. I'm sure that if someone's watching this, they're going to take issue with that.
Right.
There are other germs that can be transmitted right away, but the Lyme disease germ and one called babesiosis takes a little bit of time of development in the tick in order to be at an infectious level.
If it's on your body, by the way, we may talk for 3 hours, but if it's on your body for a long time, 2 days, 3 days, will you definitely be getting Lyme disease? High chance.
If it's infected, yes.
If it's infected, high chance.
Yeah.
Okay, but the sooner you identify it and remove it, the lower chance.
Right.
Okay.
And in fact, some people think, well, I've had that before, but you can get it again. There's not a protective immunity that develops.
Let's talk about alpha gal, which sounds like a superhero female movie.
Yeah.
But this is the disease that some ticks can transmit that makes people allergic to red meat or
right.
something?
And so
what the
it's
hell
mostly
is this?
attributed to the one in the middle, the Lone Star
The Lone
tick.
Star tick,
Yeah.
I know that. That's the Lone Star tick.
Exactly,
That's
because
the
you're
one that
looking at the top and it has one lone little star.
No, I'm fully aware of the
If you look
origin
at the
of it.
bottom, you see there's nothing very specific about that.
Okay, so this is the one that can give you alpha gal, and what's the?
So
if this
it's
is
not
1 and 2 with Lyme disease, what's this one?
We don't know what the risk is for alpha gal. It's a little complicated. So it's not a germ, it's a sugar. So in its earlier stages, when the Lone Star tick larvae and nymphs are feeding on deer or whatever they would feed on, it picks up the sugar. It's in all red meat except for in primates. So we don't have that, but in all hooved animals and even those that don't have hooves, they have this sugar, and so it becomes part of the blood meal, but it gets sort of transfigured inside of that, and then when they spit it in the next stage, it stimulates an allergic reaction.
Wow.
To red meat, because
alpha gal. What a bitch.
Yeah.
She penetrates you. Let's talk about.
I'm going to go with that in the future.
You like that?
Yeah, I like that.
All right, let's talk about ways for people to know if a tick is on their body.
Yeah. So the first thing that you have to think about is doing a tick check, and that sort of scares people too.
Yeah, right.
One, you got to look.
Yeah.
You got to look at yourself.
Yeah.
It's scary. And then, then it's like, where am I going to look? And so some people they don't do it because they think it's going to take them an hour.
Right.
Right. It takes me about 2 minutes.
Okay.
I enlist my wife to look at my back. Back in the day when we were first married, she would do this happily. Now, years ago, she bought us the biggest mirror they sold at the furniture store for Christmas, and in this corner it said, "Good luck."
Right. So she used to inspect every part of your body, and now there's a mirror.
Yeah. And as I've gotten older, I realize I can't see some of the places I used to see.
Right. Or some of those places have dropped a little lower. Where's a little body check hack? Where do you like to do?
Well, so I adhere to sort of my 3 T's for personal tick bite protection.
Okay.
So tucking, I tuck my pants into my socks when I'm out. I tuck my shirt into my pants.
Yep.
And I often will wear treated clothing if I'm at home and I don't want to have to think about it. So treated with permethrin.
Okay.
And that is really effective. We've done lots of studies with outdoor workers and stuff and shown how helpful it is to keep ticks off.
Yeah.
And then more recently, because the Lone Star ticks have moved into Rhode Island.
Yep.
And if they ever have tick races that you can bet on, always bet on the Lone Star tick.
Really?
It's the fastest
Wow.
tick. Yeah, so it can move from your knee.
I bet Kalshi is going to have that soon.
Well, I should get some benefit from throwing out the tip, you know.
I want to walk over here because this is a life hack. So let's walk over here, and this is one thing you have talked about is a toilet is a good place to check yourself for ticks.
You know,
help yourself. Now, this is not connected to plumbing.
Yeah.
All right, so you're sitting on the toilet.
43 years of professional training.
Yeah.
And here we are.
Here we are. So you're sitting on the toilet.
Right. So what else?
You're checking your
really
phone like every average American. Yeah, because what do you do? Yeah.
To do, right?
Yeah.
You're sitting there. You're kind of trying to get it ready, making noises and everything, and you can actually see all of this behind your knee. You can look at this side.
That's a common place behind the knee, right?
Yep.
Okay.
Very common. Look at both of these. You can sort of look in here. They often get up into people's groin areas because if they get past the knee, there's open underneath your clothes, and then they get stuck at your belt line and underwear. I mean, one of the things, you know, maybe too much information. I mean,
are you kidding me? This whole f***ing interview has been too much information.
I switched to, you know, compression underwear so that keep them out of my junk, you know.
Okay.
But if you're just sitting there, you can push it to the right, push it to the left.
Okay, great.
You'd be surprised how much you can see.
Yeah, I certainly did not ask that question. Why is this a good place to check? Is it because we're already sitting here anyways? And also this is a common spot that we don't normally check?
Yeah, I mean, I would have, you know, otherwise I'd stand in front of that mirror and I'd have to go like this. Right? And my glasses would fall off and I can't see. It's a mess. Right. Really.
All right, good. This is and then armpits.
Yeah, you can stand in front of the mirror and see that pretty well.
Okay, but this is for the lower body.
Yeah, this is for the lower body that, you know, when you get to be my age, you can't really lean over as well.
Okay, great. We'll make sure
now,
we'll make sure your team gets this sent to you, and let's. All right. So. I mean, when I told the staff that you were coming, more people pulled me aside and had tick questions. More than any famous actress, more so world championship athletes. Nobody talks to me when there's a tick.
Now you're really trying to make me feel good. Right?
Well, but I just feel like there's so many misconceptions. So these are questions from our staff, neurotic staff, about ticks. Are there ticks in Central Park or Prospect Park?
Yes. In fact, just 2 days ago, I had one submitted from someone who claimed they got their tick in Central Park.
When you say submitted, talk to me about that. What does that mean?
Tick Spotters program.
So if somebody has a tick on themselves, they can pull it off and...
Right. So instead of trying to kill it or whatever, you know, burn it, that's none of those things.
That's what my dad told me to do with ticks.
You know, the whole thing about touching the back end of a tick with a hot object, I mean, think about it. If they're down there, you really want to touch that with a tiny little thing with a hot object? It's never a good idea.
If I got a hot probe down there, that's not where it's going. You know what I'm saying? All right. So we have to talk about how to pull off a tick, but let's take a few more staff questions.
Okay.
Do I really need to do a tick check every time I go to a park or on a hike, or is it just for actual woods and forests?
Yeah, so it depends on the park. I mean, you don't even have to be on a park. I mean, in the little town where we live in, Rhode Island, we stopped at just the roadside where you might be taking a bike ride or something and putting your foot down to take a break or something like that. In 19 out of 20 stops, random stops, we found black-legged ticks.
Wow, okay. Hey, good to know. Good to know. Maybe you heard here and then you won't get Lyme disease. You're welcome. Yeah, this is perfect. Should we kill ticks when we see them?
Well, you can if you want. There's really no no need to.
Yeah.
I think that's why they invented Ziploc bags, so that you could put one in the Ziploc bag and throw it in the freezer.
Right.
Then maybe you'll come across the information that, maybe I should take a picture. Everybody's got their camera now. But of course, now they know to take a picture of the top side because that's the side that is, really.
So we can pull off a tick, put it in a Ziploc bag, and we can also send it to you, right?
Well, can't send it to me. Just send me the picture.
Okay.
There are there are testing labs though that you can. But if you've already thrown it down the toilet or someplace, you don't have it. Who knows what kind it is, right?
Right.
Oh, I had this tick and it was one of those brown ones, and I'm like, okay, that's not very helpful.
Here's another one. Where do ticks habitat mostly? That's a stupid question. We answered that. How paranoid should I be about ticks? If I go to a park, playground, or a trail, should I constantly be checking for ticks?
Well, I don't think constantly. You don't want to ruin it, but if you've thought about your clothing repellent, for instance, and you're all tucked in, you can sort of, enjoy the day. If you're taking a hike, we tell people to walk in the middle of the trail because the ticks are on the edges mostly, so you can, we followed people and they start walking down the middle, and before long they're just bouncing off the side.
But I like to explore.
Yeah.
I don't want to just walk down the middle of the
Bushwhacking.
trail.
Yeah.
Middle of the trail is, I'm a comedian. I'm not going down the middle of the trail.
Yeah, okay.
But can I still live my life the way I want to and then just be super diligent about checking?
Yeah, so
that's what I'm talking about, bro. That's what I'm talking about. Live your life.
I've only had Lyme disease once.
What's that?
I've only had Lyme disease once, and I've been doing this for 43 years.
There we go. He's only had it once. All right, show me how to take a tick off.
All right, so the first bit of lesson is,
that's not a tick.
It's a juice pouch.
Juice pouch.
And it has a lot to teach us here, and I don't want to mess up your I should have gotten.
You kidding me? No one's watching the show at this point anymore.
Anyway, I think everyone knows that when you stick this in.
Here.
All right.
Oh yeah, it is tricky.
Yeah. Better you than me.
This is like identifying a Lone Star tick instead of a deer tick instead of a dog. You know what I mean?
So the common thing is everyone knows what's going to happen when you stick this in there, right?
Yeah.
But we'll do it the proper way.
Okay.
But went through the other side.
It's hard. It's hard when you want to do this on TV. It makes things a lot harder.
Yeah. Well, anyway, you get the picture.
Yeah.
Stuff pops out.
So this is the tick.
This is the straw that is sticking into your skin. This is a bag of germs. That's a tick, really. And if you squeeze the back end, stuff comes out the straw. Right? So you don't want to do that.
Okay.
So how are you going to remove the tick safely?
Okay.
You need to grab it close as possible to your skin, so you're squeezing.
Show the camera those exact types of tweezers that you have.
So.
Because that's important, right?
Yes. Needs to be pointy so that you can grab it close to the skin and lift up.
Okay.
Because you don't, a lot of people come at it like this way and they can't help but squeeze the tick.
Right.
So you want to not squeeze the tick.
Okay.
And
you pull it off, and then what do you do once you pull it off?
Well, you put it in a Ziploc bag.
Okay.
And take a picture of it.
Right.
Maybe take the picture first. Sometimes people's Ziploc bags these days, they're a little bit cloudy, and so it makes it harder to see.
Well,
technical
since COVID, supply chain's been a whole thing.
Yeah.
All right, let's wrap this up.
Yeah.
This show's never going to let me book my own guest again. I want everybody here, everybody who's watching, and me to feel safer when we're outside. Yeah. What do I do this weekend with myself and my little girls? They're 6 and 3. How do we engage with nature in a healthy way?
Well, start by, right now we're getting ready to move into the season that the nymphal stage black-legged ticks are going to be the active ones. Okay. They're the size of a poppy seed.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
And so you need to know what you're looking for.
Which one is that?
That's not on there.
Oh, God.
It's too small.
They're invisible.
Here.
Okay. Oh, wow, you have ticks with you.
Yeah.
Of course you do. Why wouldn't you? These are dead ticks. And which ones are the...
Well, so there's little nymphs. Yeah. There's some little ones towards the top there. It's hard to see, but they're small.
Wow.
Right? And so they're going to start at your shoe level.
Okay.
So the first thing that I recommend that you do is
Nice.
before the weekend, spray everybody's shoes with this stuff. It's got permethrin in it.
That's the key ingredient.
And it will last on the shoes for about a month.
Nice.
Against ticks. Once it's on the shoes, it doesn't hurt anything else.
Right.
Right?
Okay.
And so everyone's is like, I don't like chemicals, but curiously, everyone's willing to spray their shoes, probably because it walks through God knows what, right?
Right.
And so,
Right.
so get them started with prevention
Okay.
at a place where they're willing to do it. That's sort of what we.
Well, that's an easy thing right away you can do.
And
Spray everybody's
once
shoes.
a month, if you have a pet, you're giving them a chew tablet once
Yeah.
a month.
Yeah.
So same day that you're giving them the chew tablet, remember to spray your kids' shoes.
I'm glad you mentioned my pet, because that's where the ticks come into our house from.
Yeah.
But my pet takes a pill that puts insecticide in his blood, so then when the ticks bite him, they die.
Exactly.
Why can't I take that?
That's another great question.
I mean, maybe we don't want to put insecticide in our bodies, but I'm doing it to my dog.
Yeah. So it's something that you're not the first one to think of it. I'm sorry.
For God's sake.
And
Give me a little credit around here, huh?
well,
Yeah.
get a lot of credit for having me here.
Well, thank you. I'm so thankful you're here. Thank you for talking to me. Is there have we covered enough? Is there any one last thing you want to share with anybody? We covered some prevention, getting them off our body. They can take pictures and send it to your lab, or what is it?
Yeah, it's called Tick Spotters.
Okay.
Just type that in. I think your search engines will find it. No
Okay.
problem.
And
100,000 ticks later, I have 100,000 people's stories in those submissions.
oh wow.
Yeah.
So. Well, thank you so much for being here. We really, really appreciate it. For more information on ticks and Dr. Mather's work, go to tickencounter.org. Dr. Thomas Mather, everybody.